one more here. The Man in the Arena by Teddy Roosevelt. I've never seen this or heard this, but Teddy Roosevelt, the more I read about him, the more I'm like, man, he was our last good president. I'm pretty sure ever since the 1913, we haven't had a real actual president in America. I'm pretty sure they've all just been actors and puppets and stooges and cronies. And I think that happened after Teddy Roosevelt. I think Teddy Roosevelt was such a crusher, like such a legend, like such a man who just like stood strong and tall and didn't take crap from anyone. I think after him, they had to go out of their way to like make sure that never happened ever again. Yeah. So, but the more I read about him, quotes from him, stories about him, he just genuinely seems like a man who wanted America to be full of strong, good men. And, all those little goblins in the banks, those goblins in the caves changing our money out, could not have that. They could not deal with a man in power anymore. So ever since, we've had nothing but actors and stooges and cronies. But, So I've heard this is good. It seems to be trending with a lot of his like famous quotes and poems and sayings and stuff. But Teddy Roosevelt. We'll check this out. Give this a listen real quick.
The poorest way to face life is to face it with a sneer. There are many men who feel a kind of twisted pride and cynicism. There are many who confine themselves to criticism of the way others do what they themselves dare not even attempt. There is no more unhealthy being, no man less worthy of respect than he who either really holds or feigns to hold an attitude of sneering disbelief toward all that is great and lofty, whether in achievement or in that noble effort which, even if it fails, comes to second achievement. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. No effort without error and shortcomings. Let me see here. I'll try to look it up. I'm trying to look up the text. Because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? It's not the critic that counts. Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. Yeah. Whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. Yeah. It is not the critic who counts. not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. Yeah, it's time to stop complaining online. It's time to stop complaining on Twitter, and it's time to start building and growing and doing. It's time to start being men again and not complaining about what's happening around us. Men don't complain. Men build. They grow. They overcome. They fight. They strive. They thrive. Men don't tweet and Facebook their complaints to the world and, emotionally overreact to every little thing happening around them, especially things happening on their screens, not even in their real life, like in their real personal life or in their community or in their family or to themselves. Just complaints about things that are shown to you on screens thousands of miles away. The time for that emotional overreaction is over. The time for crushing is upon us. The time for crushing is upon us. The year of the crush. And Teddy Roosevelt, speaking of Teddy Roosevelt, we need to make sure we put our faces on Mount Crushmore. We need to strive to be the faces that adorn Mount Crushmore. And not the people trending on Twitter because we made a funny joke about Joe Biden or whatever. Complaining about the hypocrisy of the left. Do you see how hypocritical they are? Can you believe how hypocritical they are? Look at how hypocritical the left is. It's like it's over, guys. That time is over. We've been there. We've done that. It was useful. It was a learning process. Because with no effort, there is no effort without error and shortcoming. We have to make those errors. We have to realize the problems and our flaws in order to create, in order to put in effort going forward in the future. For whoever does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. Who at the worst, if he fails, he at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. The timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. The people complaining on the internet who know neither victory nor defeat. They know only their emotional overreactions, their waste of time, their waste of space. We've been there. I've been there. We've been there. We've done that. But we need to learn. We need to grow. We need to progress past that. We need to overcome. We need to go out and crush. The time to crush is upon us. The year of the crush is before us. And may your place forever be enshrined on Mount Crushmore. Not on a trending Twitter hashtag. Stop complaining on the screens and start building. Start growing. Be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. And be brave and be courageous and crush. Yeah, a Caucasian crusher. A white enthusiast and a Caucasian crusher. That's what I want on my tombstone when I die. Sean Cory, born 1991, died, probably like 2026 or something. Whenever they kill me in the gulags, the re-education camps, whenever I die in those in 2025 or 2026 or whatever, whenever the Walmart FEMA camps are coming, whenever they bury me, I want my tombstone to read, Sean Cory lied here. A white enthusiast and a Caucasian crusher. And we had to imprison him and attempt to re-educate him because he crushed so hard. We couldn't keep him penned and shackled in the Twitter gulag. in the nonsense that is the enslavement of our society with our emotional overreactions on our screens. He refused to comply. The Caucasian crusher refused to comply. But yeah, Teddy Roosevelt is not my new favorite president for sure. I think he might have been the last real president. I'm pretty sure after Teddy Roosevelt, they had to just, the creation of the Federal Reserve and all these global wars and globalism and yada yada. And, the conspiracies and the theories. After 1913, I'm pretty sure they just had to put in actors to be president, and that's all we've seen ever since then. It's just a show. It's just scripts and theater for the slave class ever since, and it will continue being that way until we choose not to. Until we choose to not give our consent and our compliance to them. That's what we're going to get as actors. And I'm pretty sure Theodore Roosevelt was kind of just the last crusher. I'm pretty sure, I haven't really looked into it too much, but I've heard theories that he was bloodline related. He was blue blood. He was connected to like rich people and influential people. But I also think he was just the last like real man who just made his own decisions, who like did things. Like he probably took bribes. There was probably blackmail over his head and stuff. But I think he was just genuinely a man, trying to be a man, trying to help America be a place of men of God, you know. And after that, the goblins controlling the banks. All the goblins in charge of our banking system and the energy cartels made sure to make our government and our presidents nothing but actors and puppets ever since. So shout out Teddy Roosevelt. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace.